In 2012, an unknown hacker launched an attack so devastating that it nearly crippled America's financial and national security systems. Banks were paralyzed, data was stolen, and power grids were at risk of being shut down. The U.S. government scrambled to find the culprit, fearing it could be an act of war. But when they finally uncovered the truth, they weren't prepared for what they found. This is the story of how one man hacked America. On a cold night in 2012, the United States came under attack, not from bombs, not from missiles, but from a keyboard. Banks were frozen. Millions of dollars vanished. The stock market wavered in confusion. Power grids flickered, and military communication lines were breached. The country had never seen anything like it. Was it Russia? China? A new cyber-terrorist group? No. It was one man. And when the government finally found him, they realized something shocking: he wasn't after money. He wasn't a spy. He was trying to send them a message. This is the true story of how a single hacker nearly brought America to its knees. At 9:45 a.m. on August 14, 2012, traders on Wall Street noticed something strange. Stock prices started jumping up and down erratically, billions of dollars disappearing in seconds before reappearing moments later. At the same time, across the country, ATMs refused to dispense cash. Gas stations couldn't process payments. 911 emergency dispatch centers were overloaded with false distress calls. FBI and Pentagon servers started receiving encrypted messages filled with random numbers. Within minutes, America's entire financial system was on the verge of collapse. The attack was sophisticated, targeted, and coordinated. And no one knew where it was coming from. As chaos unfolded, the National Security Agency, NSA, and Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, launched an emergency task force. A cyber attack of this scale had never been seen before. They suspected a nation-state attack, possibly Russia, China, or Iran. The White House was briefed: was this an act of war? As experts dug deeper, they realized something strange. Unlike typical cyber attacks, this hacker wasn't stealing money or holding systems hostage for ransom. Instead, he was exposing vulnerabilities, showing the U.S. exactly where its weak points were. And then came the first major clue. Cut to close-up of a blinking cursor on a screen, a chat window opens. A mysterious message appeared on an FBI investigator's monitor. Catch me if you can. G47-inch. Ghost_47. The hacker had a name. But who was he? The FBI tracked Ghost_47's signals bouncing from Moscow, Russia; Beijing, China; Seoul, South Korea; Buenos Aires, Argentina. Every time they got close, he vanished. His methods were unlike anything seen before. He used zero-day exploits, hacks that had never been discovered before. He infiltrated military-grade encryption and left no trace. He could erase his own digital fingerprints in real time. But after months of chasing shadows, they finally got a break. One of his proxy servers led them to an unexpected location. A small apartment in Chicago, USA. Cut to FBI agents suiting up for a raid. Ghost_47 wasn't a foreign spy. He was an American. ACT-4, who was Ghost_47? Scene: FBI documents, old photos of the hacker, slow zoom on his face. His real name? Ethan Drake. Age: 28. Occupation: cybersecurity engineer. Past employer: the NSA. Drake was a child prodigy. By age 12, he had already hacked into school databases just for fun. By 16, he had breached government servers and left anonymous messages warning them about security flaws. By 21, he was recruited by the NSA to work in cyber defense. But after years of working inside the system, he realized something terrifying. The US was completely vulnerable to a massive cyber attack. And no one was doing anything about it. So, he decided to prove it. Drake didn't want money. He didn't want power. He wanted America to wake up. At 3:15 a.m. on December 9, 2012, a joint FBI-NSA cyber task force raided Drake's apartment. He was caught completely off guard, typing on his laptop. The moment he saw them, he smiled. Like he had expected them all along. Cut to news reports about his arrest. Drake was charged with cyber terrorism, espionage, unauthorized access to government networks. He faced 35 years in prison. But then, something unexpected happened. High-ranking officials quietly met with Drake behind closed doors. Instead of rotting in prison, they offered him a deal. Help the U.S. prevent future cyber attacks, and they would reduce his sentence. In 2014, under a classified program, Drake began working with U.S. intelligence to rebuild America's cyber defenses. Some say he was a traitor. Others believe he was a patriot who saved America from a future disaster. But one thing is certain. He proved that in the modern world, a single hacker could bring a superpower to its knees. Cyber warfare is the future of global conflict. And Ethan Drake's story is a warning. Because if one man could do this alone, what happens when the next attack is state-sponsored? Could America survive it? If this story blew your mind, hit like and subscribe for more crazy real-life stories. Do you think Ethan Drake was a hero or a villain? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Stay safe online.